What's up?
What is good, everybody? Is Big Game James, and I'm back in the building, and it's the Big Star Show. Can you hear me, Star?
Yes. Yeah, I can hear you. I
Okay,
can hear you.
okay. It's the Big Star Show. We are back. We took a hiatus last week. It was on me. Had a little
Yeah,
softball
we took a
game going, but guess what? We are back, and it's good to see. So make sure you're getting back in the building, the Big Star Show. Go out there. What's up, Rev Rebel on all the channels? They popping in. I told you, Star, bring them. I told you, Star. I told you, Star, be bringing them. I'm just big game. Star be bringing them. So, feel me? I'm excited about it. But before I get to we doing any talking, what's going on, Star? How you doing? And how's everything going?
doing great, doing great. Shout out to everybody in the chat. What's up, David? That's my guy, David and
Hmm.
Revel and everybody as y'all join in. Like Big said, we did take a small hiatus last week, but we are here this week, bringing you the Dallas Cowboys content on the Big Star Show. Please like this video on both of our channels. Please share this video and also please subscribe to Biggs and my YouTube channel. Um, yeah. Oh, and donate to our cash apps if y'all feel compelled, which is on each of our I guess badges, name badges.
Hey, I'm rolling with whatever Star say. So whatever she say, hey, just jump on. You see it at the bottom. You see the names at the bottom. If you'd like to donate, we definitely appreciate it. We ain't round begging, you feel me? But definitely everything helps the nation in each and every aspect. So we're excited about that and to keep going with it.
Right.
Now before we talk about these Cowboys, just talking a second ago, and I got to get it off. That was a star. I got my quick. Let me get over here. Hold on.
Okay. Because I couldn't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I
Can you
can
hear
hear
me?
you.
Okay. So what I
Yeah, I
was
can hear
talking
you.
about, Star, was these Dallas Mavericks. Now these Dallas Mavericks
Yeah,
went into OKC
yeah,
and got that dub. Now I said I
they
got a
sure
guy
did.
named DD. I got a guy named DDP, and he does the Dallas prospect, and he is Dallas Mavericks out. He does Dallas Mavericks, right? That show we
Mm-hmm.
did, I said we get past them Clippers, we beaten OKC. I wanted them to be
Yep.
the number one seed because I didn't want Denver. I said let's get them in the finals, but we could beat OKC. How do you feel about that? Right quick before we talk about these Cowboys,
Listen, I definitely think that we are going to take care of business. We should have yesterday should have been the last game.
right?
But for some reason, I don't know, in game 4, we just kind of let them steal it from us. We was up the whole game, and all of a sudden in the fourth quarter, we couldn't score. They just started scoring points, and they literally stole that game from us. And I hated that. But anyway, I do think that we will take care of them. Is game 6 in Dallas or in
Yep,
OKC?
it's in Dallas.
It's in Dallas. Okay, yeah. So I definitely think this is what I say about the Mavs. The Mavs are a team that's built for right now. OKC is a young, good team. They're playing with house money, but I still think that they have a ways to go. Like, even if they were, which I don't think is going to happen, but even if they were to beat us, they're not going to win it all because I just don't think that they're ready. They're not built for that yet.
Hmm.
But I do like OKC. They've surprised me, the 3-point shot and everything like that. But what I really love about the Mavs this year is like we just really seem we hadn't had this feeling since we won our last championship, which was in 2011. So where the team is just everybody is playing. It's not just the Luca show. It's not just the Kyrie show. It's everybody is contributing. And y'all remember like when we won the championship, like the actual last game we won to win the championship, Dirk was not playing well that game. It was Jason Terry that was going off, and that's what you need because it's like sometimes, Luca, our star, he a little bit hurt right now. Hopefully, this rest gives him this break gives him the rest that he needs to kind of recover, and he showed the hell up. What was that 2 days ago? But I just think that everybody's showing up. PJ Washington, yeah, that's what I'm saying. PJ, what's his name? Had a good game. I can't think of his name right now. Jones, I think. He yeah, he had a
Junior.
yeah, Jones. He had a big game last week. Last game. Shout out to Lively, our rookie, who's really showing up. I honestly like Lively in the setup more than Gafford. And I feel like
Mm-hmm.
the more these playoffs is going on, I feel like Lively is just getting more and more confident because from the first half of the games, I'm like Lively. I was like, he just need to get in his man body because it just seemed like he just not as confident. But these last two games, he's been confident, asserting his size. That's why we got you. You know what I'm saying? So he's asserting his size, of attacking the rim, hitting those free throws when they resort to their attack a lively plan. So overall, I think the Mavs are looking good. Hopefully, we can pull it out. I think on Saturday.
Yeah, I
Be
love how
quiet.
Eastside. He
He's a,
just he's the ultimate troll. Always
he's
want to peek, jump in here, but it's cool. It's cool. You know what it is.
yeah,
Don't got nothing to say
yeah, it's
about it. Just keep watching it and keep loving it. Okay, you know about it. You feel what I'm saying? You looking at it. Okay, we hearing it, but y'all ain't because you ain't there. So
yeah,
just deal with that.
yeah.
But let's jump on this football though. Just came out, and I know you know all about it. I told you you're gonna have to get on it because I know I've been slacking with these Cowboys. They've been tripping, so y'all been tripping. So I'm gonna say let me talk to Star.
Should we bring up? Kind of breaking up. Hold on. Says I got a question. How come the two teams are catching
There
flights?
you go. I'm back. I
Okay, yeah, okay. All right. With the schedule, um, I can pull it up. You need me to pull up big, or you gonna pull it up?
Can you pull it up?
Yeah, I'll pull up the schedule. Let me see. Cowboys
I feel you pay 80. No, I didn't hear
schedule.
no Ryan Faxon. I know if you said it, Eastside, I ain't listening to it. What up, Daniel?
Yeah, don't pay attention to nothing he's saying.
I ain't
Okay,
paying
here we
attention.
go.
Okay.
Wait. Is this it? Yeah. Okay, let me pull it up. I think I can share. I think
If you
so.
could share, you'd be a beast. If you could share.
Let me see if y'all can actually see it. It says I'm sharing, but it's not popping up for some reason. Sometimes it'd be weird.
I saw it because trying to do it.
Can you see? Can y'all see this or nah? I don't think y'all can see it for some reason. Well, whatever. I'll just go through it. It says it's supposed to be sharing. I don't know why it's not.
This is my actual net, Johnny. That's what's crazy.
Okay. Well, anyway, let me go through it. So, week one, we got the Cleveland Browns.
Ultimately, I want you because I heard you saying some stuff out there about Tyler Guyton. Um, you said there's gonna be some apologies, something like that. I heard you
I
tweet. I
didn't say it
seen.
was gonna be a
Yeah,
apology.
yeah. I just asked what's going on.
All I said was this. Everybody instantly like, well, it's over with Tyler. Or like Tyler Guyton. This is the game, and we gonna know he real or not. I'm like, listen, guys. Miles Garrett was Defensive Player of the Year for a reason. Like this guy is gonna, even the best of the best, he gonna smoke you a couple times. Now he's not gonna whoop you the whole game, but he's gonna win a couple of reps. So I'm like, obviously Tyler Guyton he's gonna need help. We're gonna have to chip or whatever. But I'm like, I don't think that his debut is gonna be as bad as Terrence Steele. But I also think that it's not going to be as bad because we're going to give Terrence Steele more. I mean, we're going to give Tyler Guyton more help than we gave Steele. We was letting Steele be out there on the island
You sure they're gonna
himself.
give him help? They ain't give
Oh,
Terrence
yeah.
still no help.
They didn't give Terrence Steele help, but that's because that was killing Moore's offense. Mike
Okay.
McCarthy, even with Steele, the games after he had that horrible game versus Philly, we helped him. We actually helped him in game. We just didn't help him enough. You know what I'm saying? But I think Tyler Smith, I think our game plan going into there, obviously Myles Garrett's going to be the focus. He's like a Michael Parsons. So it's like every offense knows you need to key in. You need to figure out how you're going to keep this guy from ruining your game. Because he's probably going to have some wins, but you can't let Myles Garrett wreck a game because he will if you leave him unaccounted for. But I was telling people, I think Tyler Guyton is going to have a better performance than what people think. I'm not saying he's going to be all world. I think he's going to get beat some reps. Absolutely. And if he don't have no sacks against Myles Garrett, then that's when I need people to start issuing apologies. But I still think that this game is, I don't really think it's a measuring stick. I think like even if Tyler Guyton gets his ass kicked, what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? Like that is Myles Garrett. I think the best tackles in this class, which was what Troy Fountain, my guy Olu Fashanu, Joe All. I didn't really like Joe All, but he was a top tackle. I think all of these guys would struggle with Myles Garrett. But I also think smart coaches is not going to sit there and you're not going to sit there and let your rookie tackle get embarrassed. At least the good coaches won't. So we'll see what Mike and Solari and Schottenheimer do. I'm interested to see their game plan. But I like that Cleveland is first. I like that we're starting off this season big with an actual formidable opponent because I just didn't want to open it up versus the Giants. No offense. The Giants could shock us and make playoffs. I mean, they made it 2 years ago, so they could make it again. But they did give them a lead. But we don't want to play them. We just feel like the Giants, regardless of how good they were, even when they were very good 2 years ago, made the playoffs, won a playoff game, we just have their number. So I'm like, I kind of want a team where it's like these coaches are they're going to have to game plan immediately. And not saying they weren't game planning for like the Giants and stuff, but I just think it's a different type of game plan. You know what I'm saying? I think you have to look at this game. This game off the bat is going to test our weaknesses. Off the bat. We said we're going to stop the run. Okay, let's see. We know Cleveland is a running team. And Deshaun is getting back off of that injury. Stefanski's not going to have him just passing the ball 100 times. They're going to try to run the ball and get play action off of that with Cooper and what's his name? Jerry Jeudy. So, and then as well as our offense, the Browns have a pretty good defense. I do think the Browns defense, though, as well can get got because they did get got in the playoff game versus the Texans. Now, granted, what's his name? Their quarterback for the Browns, he threw a lot of picks.
Flacco,
he ended up throwing a couple picks, right? I think one was a pick six. But regardless, the Browns defense didn't have an answer, just like we didn't have an answer. I'm pretty sure they gave up like the second most points after us. So the Browns defense can definitely be got. I think they're definitely more built to stop the pass than stop the run. I do think that the Browns, yeah, I really do think, like, I know that they have like DTs and stuff like that, but I think like the Browns overall, like, I think they're like us to where y'all's rushing stats look way better than they actually are. Because I saw in the game versus the Texans, they was like running, they pretty much erased Myles Garrett from the game. I don't really know how they did that, but he didn't really make an impact how they expected. He was pretty much obsolete. And I think that's because they was running the ball and doing that play action on him. So we'll see how it goes. But I definitely like that we are out the gate. The NFL ain't giving us no breaks, and I think that's what we need. Because I just don't want any false, we beat the Giants, and then we beat the Panthers, and then we beat the Saints, and it's we 5-0, and so we think, yeah, we got it, and then you go play San Fran and get your ass get blown out of the building. So I like that we starting off hot. We starting off with a hard game. Week 2, we played the New Orleans Saints for the home opener. I feel like that's kind of a weird game, yeah, in the sense of it's a noon game, so it's just like, okay. I don't really see. I don't know why. I don't know. I just feel like that just being there is kind of weird week 2, but whatever. Are we doing predictions, or are we just basically just going over? What how do we feel about the games?
This kind of, you don't really gotta get no prediction if you don't want to.
Okay,
Just,
because
kind of how you just feel about the team, the Saints, which is
okay,
like for me with
yeah,
Cleveland, I'm like, I think it's going to be a good game. I'm interested to see, like you said, with Tyler Guyton, with that Miles Garrett. They do got a pretty good front. I like to see how Cooper Beebe is playing because he's going to be the center, right? We hope that he's going to be the starting center. That's the
we hope
projection.
so.
So I definitely want
They're
to.
trying
I'm
a
going to
lot
be
of people
interested to
out
see. You know what I
at
mean?
center.
That
Mhm.
if he's going to be the center, he has to be the center because that's what they drafted him to put him to be. So
He better
um,
be, but they saying, Hoffman, and they also said
I'm not saying nothing
Solari
Hoffman,
says
dog.
Solari says TJ Bass is gonna be he's working center. Like they're not even working him at guard. So I'm like, okay, so it's like I guess I mean so
I'm
that's
cool with
three
that,
spots.
but where is so if that's the case, if he's working at center, and I don't have any problem because TJ Bass is scrappy. He played that at Oregon. He's strong. He's a grunt. We liked how he played in the short stints. I like him better than Hoffman. I think Hoffman more
Yep,
is a backup. But
yep.
if that, let's say if he's the center, let's just say if he's the center, where is BB?
Yeah, BB gonna be starting. Let's be honest.
Okay.
Well, we have to say there's competition because you don't want the rookies going in there thinking they're entitled, blah 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 blah. I wouldn't even be surprised if week 1 of training camp they're giving Hoffman the first team reps, and then they're giving because they did that same stuff to Tyler Smith. That we were like, why is Tyler still playing with the second team?
Mm-hmm.
It did week 1, he's our starting left tackle. So they like to play these games with the rookies because they like Mike McCarthy said that. Like he doesn't want the rookies coming in thinking I'm gonna be the starter. He wants them coming in saying I'm gonna compete for this position. Now, of course, Jerry and Steven are gonna make sure Tyler Guyton and BB are on the field. But I personally think BB should be on the field and Tyler Guyton, unless we played in week 1 and they're just god awful, then I feel like you got to make adjustments. But regardless, like these are our young guys. They gotta get the experience. So even if they have a struggle game, like that's just part of it. Like you have to get the reps. I just don't want Guyton. I mean not Guyton, but Hoffman and Bass really taking those reps away from BB. But that's just I think everybody's on the same page about that. I haven't seen anybody really pulling for BB and Hoffman and Bass to start over our rookie. So but we'll definitely see how it goes. But I firmly believe BB will be our center and Guyton will be our left tackle. Um but ultimately with Cleveland, I think that that's a game that people people are gonna say we're gonna lose that game because the last time they saw us, we were getting our ass beat by Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's gonna say, "Yeah, y'all gonna lose. That's a tough team." Blah 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 blah. But we'll see. I'm not really gonna do predictions. I just think that like that's a game that we could definitely win. I don't see the Cleveland Browns as a juggernaut. I just don't. I know they were in playoffs last year, but Deshaun Watson. I mean, unless just Deshaun Watson returns to form, I really don't see them doing much, just to be honest. And you have Chubb coming back off an injury too. I just and those are two key components of their offense. But anyway, with the New Orleans Saints are as bad as average as they come. I don't really see them. Now they have given us tough fights in the past, but that's when Sean Payton was there or Drew Brees. Ever since they got this new coach that took over, Dennis
Derek Carr's
Allen.
there though. Derek Carr give us problems.
Yeah, their car is there, but I think Derek Carr only gave us problems. What was that, 2021? Because he found the mouse in the house, which was Anthony Brown, and he just threw it up for all those PIs. Like I don't like we lost that game because Anthony Brown and Keller Ward's an idiot. Like I don't really see us losing this game unless this could be a game though where we always have that weird game where it's like you shouldn't lose this game under any circumstances, but you do. But I don't feel like that's gonna happen. But I mean, it could. I'm not overlooking them. I just don't think the Saints are like really there yet. Now they do have a nice defense, especially in the DBs though. Their young DB core is very good, but their pass rush is not that great. Their offense is not that great outside of Olave. So we'll see what they do, but I'm not really worried about them. Now the Baltimore Ravens, Week 3. That's going to be a tough game. I'm going to be honest. That's probably going to be top 2 tough games of the year. Outside of San Fran is always going to be a tough game. So I definitely think the Ravens is going to be a tough matchup. Historically, we've had problems with running quarterbacks. Can Zimmer fix that issue? I don't know. We'll have to see because it didn't matter if we had Marinelli or we had Dan Quinn. Running quarterbacks gave us a problem. So we'll see if we're able to contain Lamar and Zay Flowers, who really, I mean, he showed up and showed out as a rookie, so I can only imagine he's going to get better. They have Derrick Henry. I don't think we faced Derrick Henry ever. So that's another thing. And then on top of that, he's got the chip on his shoulder. We didn't. He said multiple times he would have loved to come here. So he's kind of mad that we didn't even pick up the phone and call him. So I think that's going to be a tough game. We already know their defense is crazy. Now they did lose Queen to the Steelers, but I mean, you still got what's our guy? What's his name?
Roquan.
Yeah, they still got Roquan. So I still think that that's going to be a tough game. And if we lose that game, I ain't going to be tripping. Like, what I want to see from the team this year is like actual fight. Like, I just don't, with these teams, I want to look like we belong on the field and have the games
So
come
you
down to like,
saying you saying you don't feel like we look like we belong?
in the past with these teams, it hasn't seemed like that much. Like last year, whenever now I'm not gonna say it didn't seem like we didn't belong on the field. The only team that it seemed like we didn't belong on the field was with San Fran, and that was because Dan Quinn really didn't have an answer. Like, you didn't have an answer. We tried to go in there. Are we just gonna run the ball? It was not working. So I do think in the past 2 times, though, being honest, that we did. I think in 2022 we looked like we belonged on the field with them, and I think in 2021 we did as well. But I think that with these big opponents, like these difficult opponents, we need to either be beating them or these scores need to be close. I can't really face these blowouts. I just can't deal with that, right? See, like I can't deal with these blowouts. Like it's just, we shouldn't be getting blown out by any of these teams if you belong in the arena with these teams. And I think last year we really didn't have many big games to hold our hat on. We kept coming up short, versus Buffalo, versus Miami,
San
uh,
Francisco.
San Francisco, Philly, the first game. Like, we just gotta do better in this game. I want to see discipline. I want to see fight. I want to see sound defense. That's my focus this year. Because I'm gonna be honest, guys. Like, Star is no longer on we going to the Super Bowl. I'm like, listen, I don't believe that shit for the past 2 years. I'm off of that. I just want to see that this team is improving. That's pretty much it. Like, people might say, damn, that's a low goal, but whatever. I don't care. I want to see that this team is improving. I want to see that this team is fixing things that have been issues in the past. So I know if we go in here and we still can't stop the run, like if we really come into this season and we're still not stopping the run, like we're not going to stop anything. Because I think if you can't stop the run, you really can't stop nothing. Like, we've seen it in these games. Like, when we can't stop the run, we can't stop the passing game either. So I just want to see, fight from our guys. But I do think the Baltimore Ravens will be a difficult game. It's obviously going to be prime time on Fox. So, that's going to be a game to look at. Then you got the New York Giants. Not really worried about them. I feel like the only person you should be worried about really is Malik Neighbors. But he is a rookie.
The other kid, Jalen Hyatt, he's fast. Tennessee.
He's fast, but he was not very good last year. Now,
Got
granted, they
year
didn't
two.
have their quarterback. Yeah, it's year two. They didn't have Daniel Jones.
Is
I
Tyrod
know a
Taylor
lot of
still
people,
there?
Tyrod Taylor. I think
Or is he
so.
gone?
I think they did keep him. I think they kept him.
That's good.
Or maybe he's. I don't know. I gotta look it up. Now, I will say this about people always shitting on Danny Dimes, but go and look at his stats. Like Danny Dimes, Dayball has turned Danny Dimes into a efficient
Jan.
quarterback. I know you hate it, but he plays efficiently, and
I'm sorry.
he
No.
don't be terrible against us.
It's
That's all
funny
I'm saying.
because I had this conversation with Anthony Wright, my dog. He played for the Cowboys back in the day. Played with South Carolina. He was our quarterback, around Quincy Carter time. And I told him, nope, nope, nope. And he was like, nah, don't sleep on him. Just because he came from Duke, right? He came from Duke, right?
Drew
It's
Lock
my,
is over there.
I, and
I didn't.
uh,
Go ahead.
and I'm like, no, I'm not believing it. And he had that one year and he hit me up like I told you. I'm like, no, I'm not believing that. I don't give a hell. And guess what? What do
What?
they say? If it looks like a duck, if it walks like a duck, it talks
It
like
looks
a
like a
duck, it's a
duck.
duck.
It's a duck.
That joker's a duck. And I don't care. Not
Well,
fooling me
you
with
know
no
what?
Danny Dimes. No.
Danny Dimes. Yeah, I don't know what the situation gonna be over
Keep
there.
him. Keep him. I want y'all.
I
Keep
think
him.
Dayball may. They talk about Drew Lock may be starting. I didn't even know Drew Lock was over there. So
Oh
who
wow. Yeah.
knows?
He might
Yeah,
be.
who knows? Honestly, who cares? I don't care about the Giants. I just
You
don't
right.
think that
They ain't
the
beating
Giants.
us.
No, I mean they did make their defensive line a little bit stronger because they did get Brian Burns, but we faced Brian Burns. Like, what is he got now? Granted, you are adding Brian Burns to Kayvon Thibodeau and Dexter Lawrence, so
Hold on. I don't mean to cut you off, Star. I got a quick donation, 199. How JJ the Mime said he's back from the where you back from? I know the Army dog salutes to you. Well, you said the BC. See, what's that?
I'm not sure. Oh, maybe
Let me know. Say it in the
yeah,
chat.
let us know,
Salutes
Jay.
to you. I was wondering where you been. I didn't know you was in the Army, dog.
Yeah.
That's salutes. My whole family is my stepson was in the Army. My whole family military. All whole
Oh,
family.
yep.
Whole family military, dog. Whole salutes to you.
Wow.
Um,
Thank you for
but
your service.
I ain't trying to have you break down every team, but just some of the games. Throw me out some games that are interesting you. But because here, before you say that though, Star, I just want to tell you,
Mhm.
I have no clue about this team. I don't have a clue. Like not even because I don't know what's up with the defense because I don't know you have a new defensive coordinator.
Mhm.
This is a flip. This is a different
Yep.
philosophy. This is a
Yep.
different theory. And there are
Yep.
parts and Mike Zimmer has already mentioned that he's light in areas. So he's already
Yep.
said that
Yeah,
we're light.
we're in some areas. He
Um
did say that.
so, in with that being said, and we've already talked about, oh, we're waiting for these June 1st cuts. We don't know what's really going to happen because guys have been signed before this time. Dak is still in limbo. CD Lamb, we know we probably possibly waiting for Justin Jefferson, but whatchamacallit just got signed. Um, what's his name? Who just got signed?
For
4 more
you talking about
years.
for the receivers
No,
or for
quarterback.
golf? Golf got signed.
Jared Goff just got signed, 172 guaranteed, 204, something like that, 53 a
Mm-hmm.
year. So
Yep.
Trey Lance, we hear about him. I done said he gonna play. Now that he gonna play all the time. Now they need to
He's gonna
see.
play for sure. He gonna play for sure. I mean, you got to like you have to let Trey. You spent the fourth round pick on him. You're gonna have to let him play majority of the preseason. I feel like because really the preseason is going to be used for again. You already know what we have in Cooper Rush, which is solid, run the ball. Cooper Rush can do enough to where he ain't gonna lose you games. We do know that by Cooper Rush. With Trey Lance, you're trying to see, do we want to kick Cooper to the curb or do we want to keep you? Another curveball is Hor Hensey. He is an
Don't.
undrafted.
Yeah.
He's an undrafted free agent rookie that we signed right before a rookie mini camp, and Mike McCarthy loves him. So again, I don't really know. Now, I think that's what I said when I responded to you. I think Mike McCarthy, if he had his way, he would say, let's just develop Hortense. You know what
But
I'm
he don't
saying?
have his way.
He don't have his way. So Dallas may force Trey Lance on him to where Trey Lance got to be quarterback too. But we're gonna see. It just really depends. We're gonna see in the preseason.
In a
Um,
lame duck season.
yeah, we're gonna see in the preseason what he looks like. I think personally, Mike McCarthy knows that this is win it all or you're fired. So I don't know if he's going to want to have Trey Lance as his number two. I think he has more trust in Cooper Rush, or I think if it was Mike McCarthy's way, he would have it Dak, Cooper Rush, Forense as the emergency quarterback.
You're right.
He never
But
asked for.
he ain't gonna have it his way.
He ain't gonna have his way. So
Doubt
it's
it.
like it's gonna be Dak, Trey Lance, most likely, unless they somehow do a trade. Dak, Trey Lance, and I guess Cooper Rush. No, Cooper Rush probably gonna leave because he wants to be a quarterback too, at least. So I think Cooper Rush leaves, and then Mike has Hortense as his quarterback three emergency anyway. But you know what with Zimmer, you know what I think Zimmer's gonna be able to add, and based on his interviews and stuff like that, is, and I will say this too: the young guys seem to have already bought in to Zimmer, especially those like Sam Williams. When Sam Williams was at the Derby, home run Derby, he literally said, I'm very excited about this defense. So he's very excited. You see, you know, obviously, Wanye. So the players who they feel like we didn't get our chance, they feel like under Zimmer, they're going to get their chance. They feel like under Zimmer, they're going to get a real shot, right? A real shot at competing for that starting, for the starting job, or make at least just make the 53-man roster. So I think with Zimmer, and based upon this is what the organization is saying. Now, is that going to be true? I don't know. But the word that I'm hearing from everybody top down is competition. And I had to go back and look and see, were we saying competition so much in years past? Because I really hadn't heard it. Because I feel like we had that wall of people where it's like this isn't competition. We're looking to see like who's going to be the backups. We already know who our starters are. Like it was set in stone. We know how our preseason looked the previous years. We had all of our starters sitting out and everybody else in the game because we're just trying to decide who's going to be on the practice squad, who's going to make the 53. So I think this year, they're like, we're going to really let these guys compete and earn these spots. Do I think that Jerry and Steven, there's some spots where it's like non-negotiable? Absolutely. Like, obviously, Dak, obviously, CD and Micah. It's not negotiable if they're starting. D-Law. Like, that's not a question. But I think that for everybody else, I really do think that they're going to let it be competition. You know what I'm saying? And just say, here, let the best man win because we don't have any high-priced people. Like, we really don't. Like, they got rid of all those guys. So it's like, we don't have any major contracts or anything like that besides our all pros that we should extend, but who knows if they're actually going to do it. Who knows? Whatever. But at this point, you know how I'm feeling about the team. Okay, go ahead.
Hold on, because we went out right quick. I want to. Okay, we're back. Sorry, we might have went out. She was saying some great things. We might have went out, so I apologize.
I
What's
hope
up
we
with
didn't go
everybody?
out.
What's up, Mark Jenkins?
What's
We
up,
here. We
everybody?
still here. We still
Yep.
here.
But
All right. So go ahead.
yeah, I was just saying, like, I feel like this is the year where it's really gonna be they're gonna allow it to be competition. You know what I'm saying? I think that's good because here's the thing, and I did a show about this. I call out with the old in with the new, and I said, you know, if you have these older veterans here, because a big thing of people saying, you know, are they gonna buy in? Are they gonna buy in? And I think that, you know, if you had the older guys here, I think that Zimmer would have a harder time. But I think when you have so many young guys here, especially a lot of them who've been buried on the bench, I think he's not going to really have that issue of buying in. I feel like the only issue of buying in that he may have, and it's going to sound kind of controversial, but Micah. Like, I think that's probably the only issue that he really may have because Micah's a centerpiece of our defense. And it really just comes to a point of, is Micah going to take that next step, um as far as leadership and selflessness? Because him and CD both have to do that. I'm gonna be honest. I love Micah. I love CD. Shout out to Micah. Becoming the president of Gridiron, Bleach Report, and all that stuff. I think that's great because I understand the bigger picture, what he's trying to do. But I think that this year, Micah, you kind of gotta be the leader, because what you think about this big? I think I'll shout out to Boss. He was talking about like who the leader should be on the defense.
Hold on, Star.
Okay.
Can y'all hear me? Say something, Star.
I can hear you.
You can hear me?
Can you hear it? I can hear you. I don't know if everybody else can hear you. Can y'all hear Big Chat?
Yeah, I told him my phone sucked. I'll be back. I'll be back on my computer next week.
It's okay.
I got,
We y'all just bear with us. Y'all bear with us. Um, you can hear me good?
yeah, I can hear you perfectly. I just want to make sure.
The chat, he
Barely.
said barely. Why does he have to be the leader of this team? He can just be one of the leaders of the team. Put too
Go
much
ahead,
pressure on.
Star. You keep going while I'm fixing this.
Okay. Tariq said, why does he have to be the leader? He can just be one of the leaders on the team. Put too much pressure on that dude. Bring more talent in the room. It's not too much pressure, Tariq. Micah's a 3-time All-Pro. He's not. It's not too much pressure for him. Like, we're not talking about a rookie at all. I think Micah needs to lead, because this is my opinion on him. I like D-Law. I'm not gonna say I love D-Law. But D-Law is not the vocal leader. He never has been. He never will be. That's not who he is. You ain't never show me some film. Show me some sideline film where you see D-Law on the sideline telling the guys, we need to do this, we need to get together. You ain't never seen that. Now, what you see from D-Law is the effort on the field. That's why we love D-Law. That's why we respect D-Law. But when it comes to getting the guys together, D-Law has been a part of all these historically bad defenses that we've had in the years, either in season or in the playoffs. D-Law was a part of every last one of those squads. This is not me taking a crap on D-Law. Again, I love D-Law. I respect D-Law. I thank him for everything he's given the Cowboys. But at the same time, we need vocal leaders. That's what this team is also missing. Like, yes, we're missing a defensive tackle. We need to get that. But we need leaders who are going to be vocal on the field, that can get more people, get everybody settled down when we're playing these games, and it's like everything is turning to crap. Now, Diggs can also be that leader, right? But I think with Micah, stop putting it on one person. Tariq. You need leaders in every position. You need leaders on every side of the ball, right? You need multiple, but you have to have a main leader. Like, I don't know what we're talking about, but anyway, yeah. And I think that that should be his role. And Micah said he wants that to be his role. So we'll see from Micah.
I mean, this is what I feel though, Star, with
Yeah.
Micah.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you're studying. I'm not saying you ain't. Make sure you're studying. Make sure you're in the books. Make sure you know everybody's position. Make sure you're that guy, not just that guy as far as you know, just your extreme ability, right? We know you're that guy with the extreme ability. I need to know you're that guy in the study room. You know everybody's position. You know where everybody should be.
That's
You're
true.
that guy too. And when the chips are down, I need you to get in everybody's face or get everybody together. Hey, let's go.
Exactly.
Let's get this together. You don't
Let's
got
get
to
it.
be the vocal wow leader, but you are vocal. You do talk. You're
He
very
talks a lot,
vocal.
big.
You talk a lot. So if you talk a lot off the field, you talk a lot. So I feel like
Right.
all that talking you do off the field, you need to be on that field talking like that, especially when things ain't going right in that Green Bay game. You should have been the main one hugging everybody up and getting everybody together and saying what's going on. Why are we not doing this? What's the problem? Not over there sulking or looking, at the
And pulling himself out the game.
jump trying shaking your head. You feel me? That's that, and then that's what all I said. And then when you and CD came on the show afterwards, everybody was applauding those guys for taking, you know, um, okay, they
Initiative.
took and said
Mm-hmm.
they own. But me, you're year 3 and you're going year 5, you still have to. Somebody has to talk to you. You've been in how many playoffs now, CD? And somebody needs to kind of still talk to you. You should be not doing that now.
That's
You've been
that's what
this
I'm
year
saying.
4. You feel me? Not year
Yep.
1. This year 4. So you should know better. And then Micah, I mean, you're the supposedly leader of the defense. You have the podcast. You're telling everybody you're the guy. I mean, so if you're the guy, you got to show it. And
Yep.
one that's getting everybody, one that's getting everybody position. I just feel I'm old school, and I understand the young school too. So I don't do that. I'm not. Oh, I'm old school. Don't believe. No, I don't do that. But I think if you want to be one of the greats, you don't just have to know your position. You need to know where everybody's at. You need to know
Everybody.
everybody's. You That's the greats, and
Yep.
I feel like he got. I don't know if he's on that level yet. The ability, athletically, yes, but the
Yes.
other,
He's the best athlete,
I
period.
still need to see that, in my opinion.
Yeah. Uh Edge Johnson, Dak's not leader of the offense because when we're losing, he
That's
hot on the
wholly
corner.
not
Yeah.
true. And I'll
Yeah,
tell you,
that's
I'll be getting on Dak. So if I'm disagreeing with that, that's
yeah,
because I'll be getting on Dak for real.
that's definitely not true. But
Yeah.
what I will say is this: I'm not, and I agree with you, Hector. It does have to be earned, right? But this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Micah and CD said that they were going to do this, so I'm going to hold them accountable to it. That's what
Said
I'm
it
going.
on their
They
podcast.
said it. They said that. Did nobody put it on them? You ain't heard Mike put it on them. You ain't heard Jerry put it on them, or Steven, or Zim, or Mike. Nobody has put it on them. They said
No.
we have to be more accountable. We have to step up for Dak. We need to be his generals on the field when people are effing up. We need to, at training camp, when we see mistakes, we need to say, come on, let's go run laps. That's what they said. So we're gonna see. That's what I'm saying. They said Micah said he wants to be the guy. So we're going to see. CD said he wants to be the guy. That's why I had brought up. Okay, Micah. I hope that Micah is building that relationship because he's away right now. CD's away right now. It's kind of hard. I know we're in voluntary workouts and it's voluntary, but guess what? Other vets and stuff are there. They're not. So we're going to have to see, are y'all building a relationship with the guys outside of the star so that when we come in for the mandatory OTA and all that stuff, that y'all are ready to be working with y'all's guys? Because I want to see Micah, if he feels like somebody messed up, I want to see Micah take him on the sideline. Hey, this is what we need to do, because I constantly see Dak doing that. I see Fur doing that. I've seen people do that. It's like
Do
if you
you
want to
think?
get
Do you
better,
think
you
these
gotta step
guys
up.
really take Micah seriously? I mean, do you think
From
they
what
take
the,
him seriously?
from what the
And, and,
players,
and
yeah,
listen.
I,
I'm looking at Tyreek's question. We said so. It's Michael's fault that the organization does not spend money in free agency, and when he goes off in the field and defense takes a slide, make it no. That is
what
not
are
being
you
said. I
talking
don't.
about? Nobody said
And,
that.
yeah, and that's not what's being said at all. Nobody's blaming Micah for what the organization does. We're
Yeah.
saying that Micah, you need to continue to be better as the leader of the team. If you're the guy, then and you say you're the guy, you have a podcast, you bring a lot of heat to you as well. So continue to step up and grow. Continue to do everything that you possibly can to be the best. He said himself on his show that I dropped the ball in the playoffs.
Yep.
I need to get better. We both need to get better. If
Yep.
we need to not pout. We need to not sulk. They said that themselves.
They
We
said
saw it
that.
on the field. They came out and said it. So they said we got to get better. What I'm saying is, y'all been in the league enough not to be doing that. So I kind of don't want to hear that. Okay, it sounds all good, but we all know talk is cheap. I don't want to hear it. Just go out there and do it for my
Yeah,
team.
I get it. I think a lot of people like
What's
with
up, Regina?
yeah, hi Virginia, how you doing? I think a lot of these guys, these guys are young, but at some point you're gonna have to find your voice. At some point, you know what I'm saying? Like CD and Micah, y'all are two of the best on the field. I just haven't seen it to where you're all pros and the best on the field, but you're not a leader. I just don't get that. I don't see that on any other team. I don't see Roquan Smith being the best, one of the best linebackers. Then they lose and he just sitting there like, I just don't see.
Yeah, I feel you.
I don't get that. You don't see Aaron Donald. We losing him. Aaron Donald just, yeah, I don't know what's going on. Like, come on, like
Right.
somebody's got to step. You're an All Pro dog, first team All Pro, 3 years in a row. Like Diggs too. All of them need to step up because guess what? The old regime is after Zach Martin and D-Law leave. It's done. So somebody else has got to step up. We've got to have vocal leaders. We haven't had a vocal leader since Sean Lee left on the defense. We just haven't had it. Well, that's not true. We did have Jaron Curse, but Curse took a back seat, which I don't blame him. But Curse took a back seat last year because he knew I'm not going to be here next year. So he still, hyped his guys up like before they walked out the tunnel. But we didn't see no. You remember how Curse had that when Sounds of the Sideline 2021, he's like, lock the F in and doing all that stuff. We didn't see that. We have not seen that from Curse at all. So, I need somebody to step it up. And I just, at this point, D-Law is a 10-year vet. That's not him. D-Law shows his leadership by how he plays. That's how he shows his leadership. He's not going to be the type of person talking crazy to you on the
Well,
sideline.
yeah. Who? D-Law?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know. They ain't got no. I don't know who does that on the defense.
Nobody.
Besides,
That's
like
what
you
I'm
said,
saying.
Curse. And ain't nobody. I mean, ain't nobody listening to Curse.
No, Curse is
Well,
gone
maybe they
too.
are. Yeah,
I don't
maybe
know.
they
It's
were.
hard. The defense, I think the defense is a little bit of a question mark, to be honest, because
I I just don't know. Period. Dog. Like I
we
said,
don't know.
Star. I don't know about this team right now. This team is different. It's going into a season where lame duck status for your coach. This is a must win. You got a new defensive coordinator, and we're hearing great things. We know what he's done as a defensive coordinator and as a head coach, but it's
Yep.
still an unknown. You've lost a lot of players. You haven't really replenished. You're waiting on this so-called June 1st cut. Okay, you brought Ezekiel Elliott back, but to me that doesn't turn the meter for me. Like, oh, Ezekiel Elliott's back, Super Bowl. That didn't do that for me.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Um, I don't. The offense, it looks good, but once again, CD, if you don't have a CD Lamb around, and I'm not wishing any injury, but you got to look at that. If you have an injury with a CD Lamb, who else do you have? You don't have anybody else out there on your squad that your offensive your receiver core all of a sudden looks very average. Um,
Yeah. I mean, I get that too about the number one wide receiver, but I have to say, like, that's for most of NFL teams. Like, if your best player is out, we saw with the defense. I remember you saying that specifically. You're like, when Michael wasn't in there, the defense looked pedestrian. It didn't
yeah,
look very much. So like that's just how it goes. Like when you don't have your all pro on the field, it's just going to be a difference. Now some teams are stacked enough to where it's like, okay, we have a decent core, we like the Bengals were for a couple of years where you had the trio. So it's like, okay, if Chase goes down, we at least got T Higgins and can't remember the other guy, Tyler Boyd. But they don't even have that shit anymore. It's very hard where you can have like basically I got like Philly has 1A, 1B. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yeah, we thought Brandon Cooks was gonna be that, but he just hasn't been that. Now maybe going into year two, of the offense, maybe he's a little bit better. I don't know. I feel like this team, we don't really know what this team is. They're going to have to show us on the field. That's just my honest opinion because you don't know. Like a lot of it, like you said, it all sounds good. What Zim said sounds good. We're going to stop the run. All of this stuff. We're going to do this. Dak's going to be better. We got Zeke. It all sounds great. But at the end of the day, we got to see what happens on the field. And I feel like the way our schedule is set up, we're going to know by midseason if is this even a playoff team. Now, I personally think so because I think in Dak's worst year, he was 8-8. Like that's his worst record that he's ever had fully healthy. Even when Dak was out and we was ass in 2020, we won 6 games. So I just don't, with less talent, I just don't see us. Yeah, we just was Kellen Moore just being dumb, making Ben DiNucci pass the ball 30 times and that Gilbert got 30. It's like, what are we doing? But we're just not, I'm sorry, guys. We got too much talent to be a 1 or 2 or 3 win team. That's not happening. Now, maybe we get 8-8. Maybe we end up 9-7 or whatever the hell, or 9-8. That's a possibility. I'm not going to deny that. But just to think that we're just going to be so god awful that we're barely going to win any games and we're going to miss the playoffs, like I just don't really see it. Because even in 2020, it was basically we could have won and got in, but I think didn't Philly? Yeah, Philly ended up tanking and all that shit. So, anyways, or they threw the game so that they didn't win and we wouldn't win or whatever. But I just don't see. I don't see us at least not having 9 to 10 wins. That's just my opinion. Regardless of the way the roster looks and all this shit that's going on, I just don't foresee us being any worse than 8-8. I don't see it. But I mean, they could shock us and the team could just be horrible. If that's the case, then we know the team is going to look a lot different come 2025. So, I think all in all, this is but I think just to go off of just the key games that I'm looking at, before we close, obviously, Baltimore, the Lions, week 6. Because they coming, we know how they are. They coming looking for revenge. Yeah. They play nasty and dirty, so we know they're gonna be trying to break our legs like they did last game. San Francisco 49ers, of course, and that's prime time Sunday night game. So
do you think we finally beat them?
I don't know, because these past 2 years, I'm like, yeah, we're gonna beat them. Let me get right. I don't know. I really don't know. Like, I want to say yes, but I don't know. I said that I thought Mike McCarthy's gonna whoop the shit out of the, and then we saw what happened. Yep. So they just gonna have to show me. I'm sorry, guys, and I know y'all probably want more.
I feel you. I'm the same way. It's real.
Positivity and stuff, but it's like I gotta be honest. Like, when I tell you, I firmly believe that we were going to the Super Bowl 2022, 2023. Like, I firmly believed that the floor was NFC Championship, and it was not that. It was embarrassing.
So let me ask you this: you didn't feel any kind of feeling going into that Green Bay game? No, you didn't feel like, damn, I'm getting that weird feeling. You were supremely confident in that Green Bay game. I sure the hell was not.
I was confident. I really was. I was like, I think they're gonna make it a little bit of a game, but I think that in the second quarter we're gonna be able to. I just thought our team was real last year. I'm gonna be honest. Like, they were bringing it up. They were like, listen, the way the Dallas Cowboys are blowing these teams out, regardless, because everybody has easy wins and all of this shit. Like, everybody has that. But the way that we were blowing out teams last year, they were like, no teams do this besides the Super Bowl winning team of that year. So there was nothing. I was starting to see progress in the run game, even though we were losing. It's like you're losing by field goals. Like, you're getting closer and closer to figuring it out. So no way did I think that we were going to go into first of all, I don't think anybody could have predicted we was going to get blown out like that. Like I don't think anybody now you could say because Green Bay's like the Cardinals. They do always have our number. That is true. So, but I just didn't feel it. I was just like, I was drinking, taking shots. I was like, yeah, we gonna win. I'm about to sit here and just enjoy us, blow out this team, and on to the
No,
next.
I
So,
didn't feel that.
but you didn't feel that.
I was feeling that in the beginning until they scheduled Green Bay because Mike kept telling me I don't want to play Green Bay. I'd rather play Philly. And then when we got them on the schedule, I said, "Damn, we're gonna lose." That's just what I felt, and I didn't want to feel that way. Like I didn't want to
Yeah.
feel that. And then when I kept on 16 straight wins at home, they ain't lost 16. Oh, I'm like, oh Lord, that's not what I need to hear. Don't shut up. Stop saying that. I don't
They
want to hear that
always hype us
anymore.
so big,
When
and
they hype us, oh, and then I started hearing, well, you better watch out for that Green Bay team. They young. I'm like, okay. All I had to do was I'll start. All I had to do was look at the first few drives. They got the ball
mm-hmm.
and took all down the field, scored a touchdown. I said, okay, I'm there, almost there. And then we did that first drive, and Dak threw that pass, and then way CD jumped up. I said, oh, that might be it.
Now when that
That
after that happened, I
I said
said,
that
"This is
might be it. That might
this
be it.
might be it." When that happened, I did say something is off. Something is off. Like
That might
in
be
Dallas,
it.
did the Packers weren't they a 9-win team and then they beat the Super Bowl winning Chiefs in season? Like I don't know what y'all are talking about, but just because you're a 9 or 8 win team doesn't mean you can't beat good teams in the season. Like I don't I don't know what y'all are talking about. But anyway, I think ultimately, and Tariq, you're right about Dak. If he doesn't get his contract, he very well could be selfish Dak and make business decisions. That's true. I mean,
That I
I
don't
doubt
believe
it. I don't.
that.
That's not
It
Dak's
could
character,
happen.
but I mean,
Yeah,
it
I
could.
don't believe that. Yeah, like you said, I just Dak just got one. All his soldiers,
The
his players,
team.
his
He been with the
he's
team
with
the
the
whole move.
organization, but he ain't really with the organization. He's with his team. So because he's with his team,
Exactly.
that's part of the organization. So he's going to take those bullets all the time. That's what I've seen from my opinion. That the bullets, the other guys, the company has to because he wants to be with his guy. If he don't mess with these Joneses, we know this. They mess with them Joneses.
He
So
don't
he
mess
ain't
with
no
it. Yep.
company man. We know that. If he was the company
Yep.
man, he would have got signed. You feel me?
He would have been
So
right. He would have already been signed. He would have been on the white party boats and all of that stuff. That's just not Dak. You know what I'm saying? So uh, I will say this year, like Dak is very focused on this year. He's a guy that he can compartmentalize and focus in. Now, if Dak don't get signed, I do think if he doesn't get extended, I do think Dak's gonna test the market in the
oh, he's gonna be
in the
gone. If he doesn't get
and the
extended, he's
Joneses
gone.
aren't matching it, so Dak's gone. Because the Joneses aren't matching a bidding war for Dak. They're not doing that. Like there's gonna be teams that are gonna say, we'll give you a like Deshaun Watson contract, fully guaranteed 200. His agent is gonna be like, Dak, do not go back to them. We got a huge payday. All these teams gonna treat you with respect. They're gonna roll out the red carpet for you and your girlfriend and your new baby. Dak ain't coming back here. So I will say that,
Well, they
if
ain't
the
gonna get
Joneses
no
really
bidding war.
no, they not. So if the Joneses really F around and don't extend CD and don't extend that because they want everybody to fight for their jobs, that bullshit. We want you to fight for your jobs. They're gonna be gone. And I think if CD and Dak is gone, then you got
CD,
Micah who's like,
yeah, I
pay
don't.
me the
Yeah.
highest right now. Yes. What
I
you
just,
say?
it's just, I feel like they are going to do a CD, but they still waiting for Justin Jefferson because I mean they don't want to set no market with him, and they scared of it, and I feel like that's why they're sitting and waiting. They feel like they can wait. Like I said, I don't know. Um, Star, I just
Yeah,
don't know. I
it's
know.
just so much up in the air. Like I do think, Stephen Jones keeps saying it's not just us with the contract. And people are saying CD and Justin Jefferson are basically playing chicken because they're like, I don't want to go first. Justin Jefferson don't want to go first. CD don't want to go first. Because both of them want to be the highest paid. So I really don't know how it's going to work out. Um, I didn't say the 49ers was going to beat our ass. I said that they beat our ass last time, but I said I don't know. I said I would want to say we're going to do better, but I don't know.
He
But
said
I
we
think
don't know.
ultimately
Like
we don't know.
we've been getting our butts kicked by them now. What would give us any
Yeah, what
confidence
we
that we're
saying? Like exactly. Like I don't know. And it's in Santa Clara once again. Like so, it's like I don't know. Like we're just saying things are a question mark. Cowboys Thanos. Yeah, we hope that they extend. I do think that they'll extend Dak and CD, but I don't know with the Joneses. That's what I'm saying. Like we can say we think, but I can't believe it until I see Ian Rappaport, Dak Prescott gets extended for 4 years, 20. That's when I'll believe it. I'm gonna just be honest with you because it's like, yes, I want to say it. I want to say it's gonna happen. I want to say Jerry and Steven not that dumb to let Dak walk for a third round. I want to say all of that because it all sounds good, but I don't know what they're really gonna do. I just don't know. And I think everybody who's confident is just going off of logic. But we know the Cowboys don't do logical shit all the time. Do you think giving away Amari Cooper for a fifth round pick was logical? Of course not. But they did it anyway. So like
they,
not everything that they
they
do is based off.
brought them back? Was that logical?
I want Zeke back. But yeah, I just feel like
Was it like, oh, we want Andy that money, so when y'all gotta get cut for you? Then when Tony
oh, you breaking up.
back, hey,
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but no, I think I still was able to make out what you were saying. I think yeah, I think it was dumb. I think you should have never gotten rid of Zeke just to bring him right back. Like you should have never got rid of him. Maybe we would have been better if you had Mike McCarthy have Zeke and Pollard. We could have probably because they were a pretty good tandem in 2022, till he went down in the playoffs. So it probably could have worked. The front office does a lot of goofy shit, is just what we're saying. They do goofy stuff. So we want to say they're not gonna do that and blah 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 blah. We don't know. We don't know. We're just gonna have to see how it all pans out. But I think ultimately with the schedule, I still see us being a 10-win team at minimum. I think there's gonna be hard games. The Texans game, that's gonna be a real. They're gonna make that a real thing. I already know because it's gonna be Diggs versus Diggs and stuff. So but I will say this ending. I do like how our schedule is because it does seem like it's hard, and then it just slowly it gets hard, then it gets slowly easier. We do have a little bit some opponents toward the end, but it's not that gauntlet that we had last year. So, and I'm like, for once, I would like to go into the playoffs not being mentally fatigued. And I think when you constantly have to play these hard opponents back to back to back, it just takes a lot out of you. Like we know that. Like when you gotta keep playing these hard and keep grinding. We saw it with Philly last year. They had to just keep grinding out those games, but you see eventually that shit's gonna break. Like you gotta have some type of rest before the freaking playoffs because you gotta think you're playing big games every 5 days. It's like big game, big game, big game, big game. You got to have your best game too. Every game's got to be better than the next. So, we'll see about what Zimmer can do. Can he get the guys to buy in? Can he get the leaders to buy in? Can he actually stop the run? We've been saying we need to stop the run for the past 10 years. I don't
30
freaking
years.
know. 30 years. So we'll see if it actually happens. Like we'll see. But I still think 10 to 12 wins because why am I saying this? Because we've shown that even with Romo, like we're a team that can win in season. Whether we got no names or we got all pros or pro bowlers, we win in season. Our problem is we get to the postseason and we choke sometimes. Sometimes it haven't been a choke, but sometimes we just got screwed. But sometimes we choke. So we'll just have to see. Are you gonna choke again or are y'all gonna play? So that's just where I'm at. But I don't know. You got anything else to say, Big, on this issue?
star today, y'all. That was bouncing off her because I
Yeah.
told her this team. I don't know nothing about this team right now. Mike Zimmer, it's a new thing. Everybody's every time there's a new coach, everybody's doing cartwheels by the new coach. We did cartwheels when Dan Quinn came in. We did cartwheels when Rod Marinelli came in. We did cartwheels when Chris Richard came in. You feel me? So I'm not going for the cartwheels. Let me just see what's going on because I ain't for it. And I feel like let's see what's off with this offense because it is changed. You got rookies on that line now. Let's see what these other guys do for this number two, number three receiver. Let's see if you can get this second tight end. It's a lot of questions. Let's see what this defensive
Yep.
line looks like. Defensive tackles. You got new safeties. You feel me? Corners. Is Diggs good? A lot of questions. So I'm not getting hyped about none of it. I want to see and just I'm just gonna go by that. Check out the training camp, see how preseason goes, see this Trey Lance thing, and see how it plays out. Because like I said, I feel like this season, in my opinion, is regression. Just because you can go 12-5 again and still regress. So your team can. So
Yeah, your team can definitely. Yeah, I
and
agree with that.
I'm not, saying a proponent of it and wishing it. I just feel like with everything I see around me with this team and the way everything is going on, just doesn't seem like this. It's taken the next step forward to you know in the talk of there's going to be failures.
Yep, I think that too. I think it's just we are heading into the season, and I agree with that. Matt, he said we need a DT and a wide receiver. I don't really know about the wide receiver, but I definitely we know we need a veteran DT for sure. That's not even a question. And I agree with you too, Tariq. Great players and good role players win championships. Absolutely, I agree with that 100%. So it's all about this. This season is all going to depend on big, honestly. If the red shirts and these guys who've been buried on the bench, when they finally get their opportunity, we've been calling for guys like Wanye and Izzy, and we want to see this guy on the field, and we want to see that guy, but we gonna see him this year. We want to see Sam Slam. We're gonna see them this year. It's just a matter of are these guys gonna step up? As I said, do I expect us to win a Super Bowl? No, I don't. Like I'm gonna be honest, I do not expect us to win the Super Bowl this year. Um, Even if Dak and CD get their extensions, I still don't expect us to win it all because I just think I don't know. I just feel like we're still trying to figure it. You got to just be. We're in a first year defense, just like last year we were in a first year offense. So I think but I do think that this year I personally think that we're going to see improvement. It may not be through the record. It may just be in the way that we play. It may be in our mindset. It may be less penalties. You get what I'm saying? So we may see less turnovers, but we're going to see more sound defense. We're going to see less penalties. I think if Mike McCarthy can really get a run game going, the offense should be better because the reason why people can just drop 7 and 8 in the coverage is because we can have a run game to take seriously. So it's a lot of things. The coaches know what they need to do. It all comes down to, are y'all going to do it? And are we going to get the personnel? Because Zimmer said, we're thin. Are we going to get the guys to actually do what the coaches feel like they need to be successful? Zimmer says he's going to the guys that do your job so that other players can do theirs. It's going to take a certain selflessness. Dan Quinn was very selfish. You know what I'm saying? Like he was a very, he wants everybody get out, get it. It wasn't very cohesive. Is that everybody? What was his mantra? Fast and physical. He wants everybody to play fast, play physical. It wasn't really about team camaraderie, and you saw that in the biggest moments. You saw that because when the biggest moments when we're trying to win, everybody's trying to be heroes, and that's why we lost, especially on the defensive side of the ball. So we'll definitely see if the team can definitely buy in. But I think we can probably call it. One last thing that about Mozzie that Zimmer had said is he's at 305 now. So that he's saying somebody put out he was 330. He's not 330. He is 305 and he's trying to put that weight back on. we still need a vet because my shoulder surgery and stuff like that. So even though I think he's gonna be better, I still think he needs support. And I think I do like Denzel Jackson and Justin Rogers, but those are young guys that are gonna have to grow into their bodies. So we definitely need to go out there and get a veteran some way, somehow, trade or whatever the heck. But yeah, I think that's about it. Wrapping up about what we got. Anything else to really
Well,
talk about?
Well, I'll tell you what. I love your enthusiasm with those young DTs. I appreciate your enthusiasm about the young DTs. Continue to speak to me in those good, great vibes for those young DTs, because I don't have that enthusiasm that you have for those guys. Because I've seen
I'm
so many
excited about the
times,
young guys.
I've seen so many times those guys. I'm just gonna say, we're not all draft experts. We get it, but there's a reason
Yeah,
why you guys are getting drafted that low. And if that's the case, I'm sorry. If you're in that rotation, and you've never played an NFL game, I can't have the high probability of you being doing really good, coming in, starting, dominating, or stopping the run and coming. It's gonna have to.
yeah,
I'm doubting Thomas. I'm pessimistic, James. I'm doubting
yeah,
Thomas. I don't mean to be, but when I see those type of things and you don't have a vet, you still have Mozzie who's still recovering from shoulder surgery. That means he hasn't been lifting. So yeah, he might be 305,
yeah.
but his strength
He's
is
not
not there.
lifting it. Yep.
Yeah.
Zimmer said that too. He said he's got to get that strength back.
So if he's got to get his strength back, then that's you're force feeding him once again. You get what I'm
Yep.
saying? So all that
We
stuff that we're talking about, the positivity of it, that's great. But I look at the other side, not to hate on it, but I look at the other side like, yeah, we're talking like Mozzie. He still has shoulder surgery. He hasn't even lifted weights, and we're relying on that. That's
yeah,
well,
you can't rely on that. Now I do think for the one tech, and this is what I want to ask. Like I do got to get out of here, but I'm maybe the next show we'll talk about it because I do want to know. Like, there's obviously one text, three text. For the one text, if they're just asked to take up double teams, like how much goes into that? Is that really just strength? Just being able to take on double teams, or is it some type of technique, leverage? That's what I don't know because I'm like I know for Dexter Lawrence, he's a pass rushing DT, so it took me a while to get to where I'm getting sacked. Justin Matabuse, those guys. But I'm like, we're not asking you to get sacks, we're just asking you to just stand in the middle of the field and hold up blocks. What's the learning curve of that? Is it still going to take 3 to 4 years? That's what I want to know because I'm like, I don't know.
you know what I'm gonna do on next show? I'm gonna get my dog Brandon Tucker, B Tuck,
Yes,
and
that's what I was going to say. Please
yeah,
bring
I'm gonna go ahead
so
and
he can
bring
help
B
us
Tuck on the
understand.
show, and then have him break it down because he always breaks down the leverage, the numbers, what to look at. Matter of fact, his
That would be
last
great.
show I did with him. Matter of fact, if you really want to know too, go on through my page, look for the last show. I'll find it for you, and then I'll send the link to you on your.
Okay.
I'll DM the link. It's a whole
Okay.
show of him breaking down nothing but the defensive tackle position, the fine art of it. It's a whole hour. It was probably one of my best shows. And people who were there
Okay.
were like, yo, we are so glad because he really taught us the ins and outs of the defensive tackle and really what to look at. So I'm going to find that show. I'm going to send you the link, and then you'll start to see, and then we'll bring him on live, break it down even better. It's going to be a good show. So I appreciate you. I'm not going to hold you any longer. Great crowd. Thank you for everybody being there. Sorry if the I was on the phone. Somebody said you got a janky phone. I ain't lying. I ain't hating. It ain't janky when you look at it, but yeah, it's probably janky. But I ain't gonna run away from saying the phone is janky. So I jumped in there and agreed with you. Say yeah, it's probably janky. But hey,
Yeah.
we still got it popping though. It's still produced. So I definitely apologize. I know you heard Star. If you ain't hear me, don't worry about it because she brings the crowd anyway. So Star, let everybody know you tag everybody, all that good stuff, where they can find you because this is the up and coming right here. You better check her out.
Yeah, you guys can definitely find me on Twitter at the Stargazer, but instead of E and Gazer, it's the three, and it's two R's at the end. You can find me on YouTube, obviously, it's Stargazer Sports. You can find me on Facebook, Stargazer Sports Media. Instagram, Stargazer_sports, and TikTok, Stargazer.sports. So y'all definitely find me on those platforms. I'm always talking on X or Twitter or whatever. I'm always talking on there. You know, I do this show with Big, and then I have my show with my girl Nikki that we do every Wednesday. We wasn't able to do it yesterday because I had to get my hair done. But we definitely will. Yeah, I'll be putting out. We got the Gays podcast that I just do randomly whenever I feel like doing it. I just put out a video yesterday talking about Michael becoming the president of Bleacher Report and all that shit. So y'all can definitely check me out. And hopefully, you know, we'll be back next week. If we're not back next week, y'all know we had a brief hiatus, but we'll be back when Big and I can both get on here and talk to y'all. Y'all have a good night.
Like that.
Yep.
So y'all have a good night. We'll talk to you again. I'm going straight off here, Star, because I got to cook dinner. So I appreciate you.
Okay.
Another Big Star show. Love y'all. Love you, Star. We'll talk soon. And just like I said, check us out on Twitter. If you check the donation, hit it. Love you. We out. Peace.